Lena stood at the edge of the community garden, the early morning light bathing the rows of green in a soft golden glow. The hum of bees mingled with the quiet rustle of leaves in the breeze. From her second-floor balcony she could see almost every bed in the garden, some brimming with tomatoes, others dotted with sunflowers and creeping herbs. She smiled, feeling something peaceful settle in her chest. It had been 2 months since she moved into this small but vibrant neighborhood. Her apartment, modest but full of charm, had quickly become her sanctuary. The balcony, with its little string lights and pots of lavender, was where she often stood to think, to breathe, and today to prepare. She'd invited her older brother, Devin, over for coffee. They hadn't seen each other in a few weeks, and though their bond was strong, Lena sensed it was time to have a different kind of conversation. Devin arrived right on time as he always did. Punctual, polished, and reliable, he was every bit the older sibling she remembered from childhood. In his late 20s now, Devin carried himself with a quiet authority, one shaped by years of being the fixer, the guide, the big brother. Growing up, he had filled their home with a sense of certainty. When their parents were busy or stressed, Devin was the one who made sure Lena finished her homework, stayed out of trouble, and made it through the hard days. He never said it out loud, but Lena knew he took pride in that role. In his mind, that was love, protection through correction. "Hey kid," Devin greeted, ruffling her hair the way he always had. Lena laughed and rolled her eyes, ushering him into the cozy apartment. "Coffee's ready," she said, motioning to the kitchen counter where 2 mugs steamed gently. Devin took his cup and glanced around the apartment. "You've really made this place your own," he said with a nod of approval. "It's nice. Peaceful." "Thanks," Lena replied, leading him out to the balcony. They sat side by side, watching the life of the neighborhood unfold below, the kids chasing each other by the garden fence, the elderly couple watering their marigolds, the woman down the street walking her dog with a red leash and a slow, steady gait. There was a silence between them. Not heavy but thoughtful. Lena knew it was now or never. "I've been working on something," she began, her fingers tracing the rim of her mug. "A dream, actually." Devin raised an eyebrow, interest piqued. "Oh. I want to start a community art program," she said, voice calm but clear. "For kids, teenagers, even adults who never had the chance. I want to create a space where people can explore who they are through paint, clay, poetry, whatever moves them." Devin leaned back, processing her words. He opened his mouth, the familiar reflex kicking in, the one that wanted to talk about funding, logistics, challenges, and everything that could go wrong. But Lena saw it coming. Before he could say a word, she gently placed a hand on his arm. "Devin," she said quietly, "I need space to let me handle things. Don't fix it for me, just be here." He blinked, a little caught off guard. His instincts recoiled for a second, like a tool being pulled from a belt only to be told it wasn't needed. For so long, his love had been expressed through action, advice, and the protective guardrails he thought were essential. Now she was asking him to set those tools down. "Are you saying, you don't want my help?" he asked, trying to mask the sting in his voice. "No," Lena said softly. "I want your support. But not in the way it used to be. I'm not the same little girl who needed you to speak for me or catch me before I fell. I need to learn how to walk these roads myself, even if I trip." Devin looked at her for a long moment, noticing how her eyes didn't waver, how her voice held a gentle steadiness. It wasn't rebellion. It was growth. He took a deep breath, the kind that releases years of habit in one slow exhale. "All right," he said, nodding. "I hear you." Lena smiled, a wave of relief washing over her. "Thank you." After a pause, Devin turned his gaze out toward the garden, then back at her. "So, how's it coming along? The art program?" Her eyes lit up instantly and she began to speak with excitement, sharing her ideas, the local artist she'd reached out to, the small grant she was applying for, and the workshop space a friend had offered. As she spoke, Devin listened, not to find faults but to understand her vision. And for the first time in a long time, he realized that his role didn't need to be about control or caution. It could simply be about presence. He saw it clearly then. Support wasn't just about stepping in, it was about stepping back when necessary, about offering belief rather than direction. In doing so, he was giving her room to bloom. The rest of the morning passed in warm conversation. They laughed about childhood memories, discussed her plans in more detail, and even made a pact to paint a mural together once her program was launched. Devin admitted he hadn't held a paintbrush in years. By the time he left, the sun was high in the sky, and Lena stood at the door, watching him walk down the path with a lightness in his step. They had both grown that morning, not apart but side by side in new directions. That evening, Lena sat back on her balcony, sketchbook in hand, scribbling down new ideas for her art sessions. Below, the garden glowed in the soft twilight. She thought of how far she'd come, from being the girl who doubted herself to the woman now building a dream from the ground up. And somewhere across town, Devon sat in his car, recalling Lena's words and the look in her eyes. He smiled to himself, knowing that love sometimes means letting go, not of the person but of the need to always hold the steering wheel. In letting her lead, he had not lost his place in her life. He had, instead, found a better one rooted in trust, respect, and a new kind of closeness. Because sometimes the most powerful thing we can do for those we love is simply to believe in them. Moral of the story: not every form of love needs to be active or corrective. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is the space to grow, to fail, to learn, and to rise. Support doesn't always mean solving. It means standing beside someone, believing in their strength, and cheering them on as they find their way.